My name's Dion Ward. I'm a Kiwi expat living in Japan. So it's a bit barren down here. They did a lot of, I was going to say pruning, but it's not so much pruning as just chopping. If I go on this side, it looks a bit nicer. I'm also a self-realization guide, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to look me up. Something that occurred to me this morning, what I want to talk about, is just how easy you should go on yourself. You can start off with the idea of be absolutely forgiving. Doesn't mean that you don't need to sometimes adjust the way you work with people, or keep people's feelings, people's state of mind, people's well-being in mind as you move through the world. But you'll find the more easygoing you can be on yourself and the more forgiving you can be on yourself. I mean, across the board, not just in the way that you interact with people, but the way that you think about yourself, any standards that you think you're not meeting. Just go easy. Go kid gloves with yourself. Take a light hand. Be kind. Be forgiving. Be all the things that you wish everyone else could be for you. Give yourself some space to breathe. Give yourself a little bit of ease, a bit of peace. So you can do that just as a practice, and you'll find that when you start to forgive yourself and go easy on yourself, when you're able to do that, you'll find that your interactions with other people and with the world around you change miraculously. It may come as a surprise how much things change, how easy things become, and to what degree. So you can do this as a practice. This can be something that you decide, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do my best, or just I'll exert some effort, or I'll be mindful of doing this, of being kind to myself, of letting go, of not blaming, not shaming, not guilting myself for things that are done in the day, in this day, presently, but also for things that have been done in the past. You can do it just as a mindfulness sort of practice, but you can also sort of as a belief-based thing, what will happen if I start forgiving myself, if I start going easy on myself? What if I don't deserve all of this blame that's going on internally, all of the shame that's going on internally? What if it's absolutely unnecessary? What if it's not what I deserve? I've been wasting my time blaming and shaming myself, and as a consequence others around me, when it was all unnecessary. So practice it and try it and see how it pans out. See how your world changes, see how things start to modify. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, rather than just practicing it as a let's have an experiment and see what happens, start looking inside. And I know this kind of phrasing can be very, very annoying, because what does it mean? Look inside. What do you mean, look inside? There's something that always bothered me when I heard people talking about this sort of thing. Look inside. Look, what do you mean, look inside? Look at the feelings. What does that mean? How do you do that? First of all, look at the root of all of this stuff is the persona that you've got buzzing around internally that you think is you. The voice in the mind, the thought patterns, the attitudes, the perspectives, the blame and the shame and the guilt. They are mine and they should be here, and it's justified that they are here and they are me. Or what if they're not? So just as a very simple exercise, sit, relax your body, and as much as you're able throughout this practice, keep your body relaxed, sit comfortably, keep your body reasonably upright, at least kind of keep your back straight. And I don't mean that in sort of like an energetic or, you know, mystical sort of way. I just mean keep your back reasonably straight so you can breathe properly. If you're breathing slowly and deeply without forcing it, just let your breath happen slowly and deeply and relax, and sit there with an attitude of passivity. I'm just going to sit here and see what happens. And some ideas that you can take into this practice, first of all, is what happens when I've resolved to do nothing at all except observe. So you sit there and you observe. What kind of thoughts arise? Because I've resolved not to make any thoughts happen at all. And I've resolved not to move my body, and I've resolved not to have any feelings. I'm not going to try to produce any of this stuff. If they happen, then so be it. But I'm not going to try and produce them. And when they do come up, when they do arise, whatever they might be, as best as I'm able, without stressing or straining, I'm just going to sit here and watch them and note them, recognize them. Oh, that happened. Oh, that happened. You don't have to say that happened, but that sort of attitude of seeing what happens when you sit there. You'll probably get messages like, this is a waste of time, this is stupid. But I absolutely guarantee you, do this for a week and watch how the way you feel changes. Watch how things start to open up in your life. Just sitting and observing. Just watch, sit and watch, observe. You can take in the notions of as well, what am I looking for here? Anything that arises. And these things that arise, maybe at a later point when you start to get some sort of proficiency, or you feel comfortable enough just sitting and observing, where do these thoughts come from? There's a time when there's a thought, and then there's a time when there's no thought, and then there's a time when there's a thought again. So the thought must be coming from somewhere. So where is the thought coming from? And am I producing it? And the feelings. There's a time when there's feelings, and feelings are always changing and coming and going. So where do they come from? What's the relationship between feelings and environment? Do certain situations bring forward certain feelings? Let me just be aware of what's happening there. Do certain environments or situations or feelings bring forward thoughts, or vice versa, thoughts that bring forward feelings? Let me be aware of those relationships and keep my body relaxed and observe. This, for anyone out there who's interested, this is the way to freedom. It's not always comfortable. Sitting and observing thoughts that you most likely rather run away from is not pleasant, but the result is pleasant. The benefit that you get from it is so worthwhile. There's nothing better. There's nothing more worthy of doing in your life, of spending your time doing, than getting to the bottom of this and understanding what's actually happening and what your place is in this. I'm sitting here observing, and these things are happening. Am I making them happen? Do they happen by themselves? What's going on? I think that's all. I wish you guys all the best, man. Good luck. If you have any questions or comments or queries, or you want to contact me about guiding, feel free to pop a comment in the box below, or contact me at my website, also in the description below. What you more than you dreamed was possible in terms of how you feel about yourself and the way you move through the world is possible. What you actually dreamed and what the dreams you gave up on are possible. Just don't expect that they'll come in the way and the shape that you expect that they will. What reality actually has to offer you is better than you can actually imagine. It's fuller. Anyway, I'll stop there. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day and take care.